Did you ever have a dream that takes you over 2 decades to realize? I had. Well, let me tell you about it. Welcome to you all. My name is Łukasz Jankovic. Again, if you can't pronounce this, I'm not going to hold it against you. Just stick it to Łukasz. That's good enough. So this is my first vlog, and I was just thinking where should I start this? I guess best place to start is to start it at the beginning. So what was the dream? Well, the dream was really setting up and running my own company, which I did not know for over 2 decades what would this be exactly. But what I did know is it will have to do with something that I'm passionate about, and that passion was really the food and wine, really, sort of gastronomy. So when I was growing up in Poland, that's what I pursued. So it was quite obvious what I will do. Growing up, I went to gastronomy school, worked a bit in south of Poland, in Zakopane, which was really great. That's where I met one of my mentors, and truly very, very talented. The hospitality professional who knew exactly how to do that on the highest imaginable level. Mr. Jacek Nosek, we worked together at the Litfor Hotel for 5 years. That's really where that dream started to take shape. The reason for it is because obviously the food and service was really the very important element of that journey. However, I remember very vividly, it was 1999 and I was opening the 1995 vintage, and now you think, oh wow, this is going to be something truly exceptional, great wine. Actually it wasn't. It was very, very, very average wine. It was Casillero del Diablo Cabernet Sauvignon. And I opened the bottle and pour a little taste to make sure the wine is correct, as you do. And I really remember I wasn't really that taken aback by its aromatics or flavors, but which were nice, perfectly acceptable wine. But I was just struck by the idea, it would be really, really cool to learn about the nuances between wines and why they differ, but at the highest possible level. And that was the sort of start of that journey of becoming a sommelier. That was the idea. So I worked there for 4 or 5 years. It was great. Busy hotel, center of the ski resort. We had season pretty much throughout the year. Small wineries, about 100 beans, and this was the first time you get to know and get too close to those sort of the wines that are recognized and really known, such as the Dom Perignon, Lafite, Latour Mouton, you name it. So that was the beginning, let's say. That was the beginning of those sort of the contacts with those labels and those iconic wines. However, after 4 years, I knew that, okay, well, as good as it was, you have to be going forward and learning in newer places and going to better places. And I was very fortunate. I guess the timing, a lot of in life is timing. However, if anything with restaurants, I think it's quite easy to know what's best, because you've got that grading of 4, 5 star, 3, 4, 5 star for the hotels. Technically bigger, higher the more star, better it should be. It's not always is, but often is. It's a good scale. And for restaurants, probably easier, because you will know what is the 1 star, Michelin, 2 star, 3 star. And one thing I learned over the years working in restaurants is, if you're gonna work in one, work in the top one. The best gives you the best distinction, there's no question about it. So I moved to UK 2005, work in some places in Leicestershire. Then was the first place. It was quite alright, called Kilworth House Hotel. Good to start. You're learning language. You sort of get to know what's what. It was good. Then I moved to Chiltern Glen by the coast. Bigger wineries, a lot more opportunities. That was my sort of first starting sort of sommelier job. And then the breakthrough happened. I was sort of at the time, I remember this vividly, doing my research and sort of grading the top restaurants, and it was kind of very quickly and very easily visible which are the bests. And then I was lucky to get a job at one of the top restaurants of the world, which was the Fettag restaurant by Heston Blumenthal, and I worked there for 7 years. Great fun, excellent in every aspect. Very challenging, very demanding, as you would expect to be, and it has to be. However, extremely rewarding. I learned a lot. There was a guy there who I work with called Mr. Isabal, Turkish master sommelier, who's very successful in his own right, runs the 2 Michelin star restaurant Trivet in Bermondsey, and now they opened the La Bombe in West End. So that was great. I worked with him for 5 years, over 5 years. 7 at the Fettag, but 2 of those 7 was in front of the house. Oh, great. The best experience I ever had in terms of the delivering exceptional type, iconic type signature dishes, sort of through testing menus. We had all this just crazy, very unique flavors, snail porridge, bacon and ice cream, you name it. I mean, it's a very special place, still is. A chance to go, you should. It's gonna be memorable for all the right reasons. So that was there. A good time. What was really great, it was a bit of a different time as well, and we opened a lot of the just truly exceptional wines, and that was the Burgundy geared list. There was a lot of world-class Burgundies from Rousseau, Roumier, Mounier, Coche d'Ury, Ramonet, Rousseau, and so on. That was great. I learned a lot, and that's sort of, I already did at that time that I will be pursuing the goals in fine dining, in fine wine side of things. That will be the sort of the where I would pursue this goal. So that company idea wasn't fully formed yet, but it was slowly taking its shape. I did not exactly knew. So next obvious choice was to move from the sommelier to sort of business side of things, to work for a wine company. So when I left Poland Street in the Fettag in 2014, I have joined team at a very successful operation in London, which was called Poland Street Social. 1 Michelin star restaurant flagship of Jason Atherton. Oh, he's a very gifted, very gifted restaurateur. He is as good chef as he is restaurateur. Not often the case, but with him it is actually. So I was there for 2 years, and that was already more clear that that is my last head sommelier job. But the reason for it is because after working that side of things for a number of years, and well, even if you in the fine dining side of things, it's tremendous amount of repetition. There's really not that much things. I don't think you're going to be challenged enough, and you should be sort of going to the most risk reward at that time of the age you could get. So my risky move was was it that risky? It wasn't really. It worked out all right. I have made a proposal to people I met while working at Poland Street. They run fine wine company called Cult Wines, and I met Phil and Tom Gehring, make them proposal. I said to them, look, worst case if you hire me, worst case if it's not gonna work, after 3 months I go find a job as a sommelier, as a head sommelier. I was in a restaurants there. However, if it works, then yeah, then it's fantastic. So there was no risk. Well, there's always a risk, as you well know. There's always, you can walk on a sidewalk and get run down by bus 29. So you have to be taking these chances. As Wayne Gretzky said, I think one of the best quotes: you miss 100% of shots you don't take. So I saw that as an opportunity, and it was a great opportunity. I worked with them for just close to 5 years, challenging at first for first year, but then it was great. I mean, you kind of learn about business side of things and focusing on fine wines, and I kind of knew, well, this will be something that I'm going to pursue. And in 2019 I had set up my own fine wine company called LJK Wine. While I was in the process of putting the LJK Wine together, I met I think crucial and extremely helpful person to that project, and that man is called Mr. Mark Abrahams, who happens to be chairman of LJK Wine. Man of many talents. One of them is running the FTSE 100 company for over 2 decades and being very successful with it, and eventually that business was sold, and Mark is retired. Mark is 70, he's retired. However, he has one of his great passions in life is fine wine, and is a big foodie. So that sort of helps because he understands fine wine market, because he has bought wines. His first vintage of buying wines in Premier was 1969. So a lot of these things I don't really need to explain it to him. He understands it extremely well. And on top of all that, he happens to have a lot of wines that we sell. So that kind of works, that sort of partnership, if you will, and has been great help. So really, what LJK Wine is, LJK Wine, idea of LJK Wine is to be one-stop shop company. You come to us, of course, the core of the offering is the fine wines. We're known for Burgundy, and this is sort of about 80% what we deal with, but we do have access to fantastic Bordeaux, Rhone, Champagnes, Californian wines, a bit of a Loire, etc. So that's really what we have a lot of knowledge and expertise in. And on top of that, that really vlog is gonna be, I'm going to add on that offering. And what I would add in on something that I know a lot about is that everything that goes with enjoying fine wines. So that is, of course, the glassware, openers, bottle openers, all the gadgets you imaginable that goes with the fine wines, including the cellar builders, etc. So we would, all that vlog is gonna be taking you on a journey, really, on talking to these people and putting these ideas together. So that's pretty much it. I guess that gives you a good idea of who I am and what I specialize in. So well, I guess that concludes. It's a new channel. If you got to the end, give us a like and a follow. That will help us to grow the channel. All the best, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.